How serious is the possibility of the U.S. missing the World Cup?
This is a legitimate possibility, guys, and the U.S. has qualified for every men's World Cup going back to 1990. It's got a great streak going, but they really had a tough time in World Cup qualifying, lost their first 2 games of the final round, lost at home here in New York to Costa Rica last month, and there's a lot of margin for error in this CONCACAF Regional World Cup qualifying, but the U.S. has almost exhausted that margin for error to the point where they need to win this Friday night at home against Panama and Orlando, and if not, that really makes it possible that the U.S. could miss World Cup 2018.
What would missing the World Cup do to the sport here?
I think it would be a really huge negative blow for the sport here. We're still growing. Soccer's gotten bigger in the U.S. over the last decade or two, but we're still at a point where every World Cup, every men's World Cup, every women's World Cup generates tons of new fans in the United States, and that's huge for the sport. And so to miss a men's World Cup would really hurt, I think. It wouldn't kill the sport by any means. Obviously, Major League Soccer is doing well on the men's side. There's a women's league now that's doing pretty well and is stable. But, you know, missing a World Cup, you never want to do that.
Of course, with all these bright young stars, one of them being Christian Pulisic, but it seems like defenses have kind of figured him out a little bit. How can Bruce Arena liberate him?
That's a big question heading into these games because Christian Pulisic got off to a great start with the U.S. men's national team. In the last few games and qualifiers, defenses have really keyed on him. This Panama team they're playing Friday night just tried to attack him physically down in Panama earlier this year, and the referee didn't protect Pulisic by calling yellow cards, things like that. So I think Christian Pulisic, in my opinion, is better for the U.S. in the central midfield, not out wide. But that's the big question this week for Bruce Arena, the U.S. coach. Where do you deploy Pulisic on the field, and how can his teammates help liberate him?